Hello and welcome to another episode of AdTech's Leadership Lens, where we speak with global leaders on what's trending in the ecosystem. I'm Shiny, your host for today, and I lead content at AdTech and iMedia events. One of the key takeaways from a CMO survey that we did in early 2023 said that marketers are showing a very, very keen interest in emerging technologies and especially connected television. The CTV space is growing at an exponential rate, creating many opportunities for marketers. And to talk to us in detail about this is Noelia Amoedo, CEO, and Nikhil Kumar, Vice President, India, Southeast Asia, and Middle East at mediasmart. Welcome, Noelia. Welcome, Nikhil.
Thank you, Shiny. Thank you very much for having us. And you did a great job of pronouncing my name.
Thank you, Shiny. It's great to be back with the team and with you.
Absolutely. So mediasmart is an omni-channel programmatic advertising platform that specializes in connected television advertising through its proprietary household sync technology. Noelia is a veteran executive in mobile, internet, and social media, skilled at establishing lucrative ventures in global markets. She has held top positions at Palm, High Five, and Bourgeois USA. Moreover, she serves as a board member at Apple. Nikhil is a consumer marketing professional with over a decade of experience working in FMCG, retail, F&B, and AdTech setups. In his current role, he leads the business functions for mediasmart across India, Southeast Asia, and Middle East, and has previously led marketing and business functions at Cafe Coffee Day, L'Oreal, Puma, Housejoy, and ByteDance. So Nikhil, without much ado, I'm going to jump into the first question, which all of us, this is something that all of us keep hearing all the time, is that, what is the impact? We're hearing so much about connected television and its impact on the media ecosystem. Can you share some numbers on this landscape, how it compares to other parts of the world, maybe?
A great question, straight up. I think, to be honest, I think connected TV has already been a growing phenomena across the Western markets. And I think Noelia will talk about it during the course of this conversation. But I think India is still at a very nascent stage, if you talk about it. We've seen a significant growth on connected TV among Indian audiences for sure. And the adoption is accelerating due to the pace and the distribution of smart TV buying in India. The content consumption behavior has actually changed in favor of increased CTV consumption, especially if you look at the post-pandemic era where the users were lost for choice on the kind of content they wanted to watch. OTTs really started coming in the central focus, and then eventually that also led to the growth of watching that choice of content in the larger screen of choice available at home, which in this case is a connected TV. Availability of competitively priced smart TVs, deeper internet penetration, high-speed 5G rollout are just some of the factors that have encouraged consumers to access high-quality streaming content via connected TV. In terms of numbers, the potential is very promising. And while I understand within the Indian diaspora, there's a lot of debate about what's the actual connected TV number, let me just leave you with the fact that now with some of the largest players within the ecosystem, whether on the content side or on the distribution side, are an active part of the connected TV space, this number is surely poised to grow 4x by 2025. And for whatever I think AdTech pundits had predicted, that number is going to be almost double. And we can see that happening with Jio IPL this year. Back to you.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So what is the potential upside that we're looking at for connected television in India?
I think for viewers, connected TV is an exciting new medium. And there are obviously new genres of content as well as variety of content options to choose from. And this just doesn't restrict to OTT. There is music, there is news, there is gaming, which might come as a surprise to a lot of people. For advertisers, the growing CTV landscape means more sophisticated medium to take their brand messaging to the next level. CTV offers precise targeting, personalization, and measurable results as compared to your linear TV advertising. This also allows brands to create tailored messaging that resonates with their audience and ultimately drive higher engagement, higher brand recall, ROI, to name a few metrics that they're always looking at. And as the CTV market continues to grow and expand, we can expect even more innovation in terms of advertising formats, advertising technologies, allowing brands to create more and more immersive, interactive ad experiences for their particular audiences.
Noelia, any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I agree with Nikhil. Obviously, as more and more people in India adopt CTV, this represents a very unique opportunity for brands to engage with a wider TV audience than ever before. But as we talk about upside, in addition to the upside for users and brands, there will also be an update for companies in the ad tech space, right? Because there will be growing demand for advanced advertising solutions that are tailored specifically for the CTV platform. You can think of advanced ad formats, new standards, new measurement solutions that will continue to develop. And of course, these will create opportunities for advertisers to reach audiences, as Nikhil was saying, in a more targeted and effective way, in a more engaging way, ultimately. And we're already seeing a growing interest in the AVOD model, right? Video on demand, monetized by advertising. And overall, so the CTV growth will have a positive impact on the ecosystem overall. In the end, it's not different from other usual virtuous cycles that we see when new ecosystems developing, the same we had for mobile years ago, right? Audiences consume more CTV, then more advertisers will follow those audiences and shift their budgets to CTV. That will drive more investments from VCs or otherwise, and that will mean more opportunities for ad tech companies to develop innovative solutions. So, in the end, a more robust and sustainable ecosystem, that's what I would expect as an impact.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to it. So, Noelia, what I understand of connected television is that its usage is pretty seamless. So how do you think it's going to affect the way audiences consume content? What role will it really play in the future of entertainment as we know it?
Well, the use that we make of content, and particularly entertainment, has already been impacted in a big way by CTV, right? And we expect the CTV to play a pivotal role in the future of entertainment. I would say that it's mainly because of three strengths that I'd highlight. One, personalization. Two, CTV's global reach, and three, how it enables multi-channel engagement. And I can elaborate a little bit on each of these. So CTV, as Nikhil was saying, offers a vast array of streaming platforms, content libraries, and it allows users to basically choose from a huge variety of genres and tailor that entertainment experience to their own preferences, right? And that has shifted the focus from linear TV programs to on-demand content consumption. And once viewers get more control over what they watch and when they watch it, I personally think there is no going back from there. Then, in addition, with CTV, viewers can access content from all around the world. And this breaks geographical barriers and also provides opportunities for users to explore diverse cultures, languages, and stories from all over the world. And these leads to a more inclusive and global content ecosystem that hopefully fosters cultural exchange and understanding, which I think is very good. And then last but not least, CTV, or the digitalization of the digital experience, if you will, or the TV experience, enables seamless integration with other devices, such as smartphones or tablets. You can start in one screen, then end in the other one. And these multi-screen engagement and interaction ultimately helps create more immersive and personalized experiences for users, and a better conversation with users for the brands.
You know, one of these conferences that I was attending, and someone said, what runs the world? It's entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. And, you know, very interestingly, CTV is absolutely perfectly poised to do that. So I can really see the potential of this growing forward. So Noelle, tell me something. You've been working in the Indian media ecosystem, especially in India, for 3 years now. What have been some of the benefits of using connected television for advertising? You said, you know, it's better content, better personalization for the user. What about the advertiser? And what are some of the challenges that you are facing, or your clients are facing when using CTV?
3 years, yeah, time flies. We at mediasmart actually joined forces with Apple in 2020, and yes, we have been very focused on developing the India market since then. And I remember at that time, CTV was already a growing phenomenon in Western markets, particularly in the US, and the Indian ecosystem was still fairly new to this back then. But over the past 2-3 years, CTV consumption, and of course, CTV advertising, because it always follows consumption, has quickly adapted to this new medium. But you ask about benefits and challenges. Let me talk first about the benefits. I think for brand advertisers, CTV brings a very exciting advertising channel that combines on one side the benefits of storytelling that are normally more associated to television advertising, with the targeting and precision that is normally more associated to programmatic advertising. And the biggest impact of CTV in the end is on the brand awareness side, because CTV advertising has proven to very positively impact brand recall, especially when users are nudged after being exposed on CTV on mobile, you know, within a short time after that exposure on TV. But also, as Nikhil was mentioning before, as the ecosystem has evolved, there are also improved ways to measure and analyze your TV advertising campaigns to precisely help advertisers get a better understanding of the impact these CTV campaigns have, whether it is on the offline world or other digital platforms. So that's another important benefit. And finally, advertisers can benefit even more if they leverage their CTV advertising in conjunction with other channels, right? Like mobile or digital out of home, so that they can create a more cohesive and impactful brand experience. Now, it is relatively an early stage in the road to maturity in the CTV ecosystem, and we're still a long way from getting to the optimal experience, for example, when it comes to creative formats, right? And I guess that's something I can mention as a challenge, because there's not yet a standard for creatives that users can interact with via the remote control, for example. But that's why solutions like household sync and cross-screen audiences that we have on mediasmart are attractive, even more so at this stage, because they enable brands to, you know, circumvent those challenges and still be able to drive call to action from their ads on CTV and to drive more engagement.
Thanks, Noelia. So you're saying there is storytelling, there is better measurement, and there is the potential for creating an omni-channel media plan with connected television. So that's great. I mean, it's clearly plugging one of those really big needs, one of those really big asks from marketers in the industry. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this together. So moving on to the next question. So Nikhil, any thoughts from you on this?
Oh, I think well covered by Noelia. I think fundamentally, if you are doing the penultimate thing, which any dollar from the marketing end is spent for, which is driving the consumer to your store, driving a consumer to your website, driving the consumer to your application, and penultimate ROI on your investment that's what marketing drives. I think it's very important to understand that. And the metrics of it could be very different, could be various ways to do it, but I think that's what mediasmart products do. And I think that's been one of the core reasons for our success within this very competitive landscape. It's indeed been quite an interesting journey. I mean, as a company and a leading provider for programmatic connected TV advertising, we've indeed come a long way. When we started first working for clients in this market, our innovative approach to advertising, whether it's our connected TV, household sync solution, whether it's proximity marketing, location-based advertising, footfall tracking, or any latest offering that we have actually built around digital out of home, we've always kept our innovation focused on delivering greater ROI for our partners and our clients. In the last 3 years, we have already been nominated and awarded multiple industry awards, making us one of the most bespoke voice when it at least comes to connected TV advertising. Working with advertisers, obviously, we recognize that connected TV advertising has made huge strides as well. The landscape is still very fragmented, with numerous streaming platform devices, content providers, and probably multiple OEMs play. But connected TV is also actually not immune to ad fraud and viewability issues, and advertisers must ensure that they work with the reliable platforms that invest and actually work towards innovative technologies to offer a very brand-safe environment. It's important to acknowledge that we live in a world which is obviously very much led by privacy and laws that regulate that importance of the user privacy. While connected TV offers precise targeting, advertisers need to be mindful of the user privacy, data protection, and ensuring compliance. And to tackle these issues, we need industry to come together for best practices, standardization. For us, at least at a company level, we are focusing on innovating our solutions that not only offer the best advertising solution to our clients, but also elevates the advertising experience for the users. Back to you.
So, Nikhil, do you want to elaborate a little bit on the household sync solution? The household sync solution?
Sure. I think household sync has been our proprietary product from mediasmart, which has led us to be obviously giving a very differentiated offering within the market. The household sync product was built on obviously decoding an insight from a marketing lens, which probably each marketer or anybody who has done marketing or at least offline marketing from a TV lens always believed. Any advertising done on television is done for, actually decoding a penultimate aim. It could be to increase your market share. It could be to increase your downloads. It could be to increase your app penetration. It could be to probably remarket, retarget. So always at the end of it, any advertising done on television is also done for a end medium, and awareness is obviously a starting point of it, right? As we all understand, awareness to action to probably multiple layers in that funnel. When we built Household Sync, our core objective was to marry that penultimate result with the exposure on awareness. And I think that's where the product started to find its real rubber hitting the road. When we spoke to marketers, we told them, how is your connected TV advertising different if it does not achieve different result as compared to your linear TV advertising? So if connected TV advertising is also about exposure and linear TV is also advertising exposure, then what's the big difference between this digital medium and this non-digital medium? And I think where we were able to connect the dots really well was when we were able to create Household Sync, which was built on a proprietary tech, which identifies the IP of a particular household, is able to retarget the mobile or any devices on the same IP in real time. That's what our platform does. We were able to find instant success with our marketers because for the first time, they were actually able to tell when they saw an ad on television, what happened. You could answer that question as a form of immediate results or actions taken by the consumer who was exposed to this advertising. And I think that was able to give us a complete funnel level attribution for the large screen to storytelling, re-engagement on mobile, and then an action taken on mobile. So I think that's what Household Sync in a layman, non-tech explanation would be, Shiny.
So it's clearly plugging that need for measurement, that need for impact measurement, that linear TV somehow misses out on. So Noelia, coming to linear TV, India is a market which is still very, very strong on television. A large portion of the media budgets are still going to television, though I think digital has grown by leaps and bounds. I remember the days where we said 5% of budgets are digital. But thankfully, digital is the majority of spends now. But how do you see, CTV and linear TV kind of complementing each other, or you think that it is time to kind of stop using linear TV completely and moving on to CTV?
Yeah, well, I'll bring you back to the audiences. Is what are they consuming, right? Because that's where brands need to be. And I think CTV in India is increasingly becoming a viable alternative to TV. And this is in line with other global trends, right? We keep hearing about more and more people all over the world choosing to cut the cord, as it is often called, this move from linear TV to CTV, not having the usual subscriptions to traditional TV anymore. Especially for India, it's important because of its young population, right? A large category of consumers are in the age group between 18 and 35. And that is where the potential for CTV growth is immense, because this is the demographic that loves to spend time online, consuming content, whether it's watching movies, listening to music, playing games. And there is also a considerable audience above 35 years old, by the way, who prefer CTV. So especially for brands who want to reach this highly engaged group in this demographic, the consumption patterns of the audiences are already tipping the scale in favor of CTV. And again, it probably goes back to what I was mentioning before, that control of watching what I want when I want to watch it, right? There is also, we released our CTV report, second CTV report for 2022, and there's a revealing measure there, which is that the average time spent watching CTV content has increased from 3.5 hours a day in 2021 to 4 hours a day in 2022, which is also an indicator of this increasing preference for CTV. Now, going back to the heart of your question, which is, what should a brand do to effectively leverage CTV for marketing and advertising purposes? In the end, brands or businesses have to integrate it into their existing media strategy, and they should capitalize on the unique strengths of CTV versus linear TV, which ultimately are, the ability to target in a precise way and those real-time analytics or impact measurement that Nikhil was referencing it, and whether you need to complement CTV with linear TV buys or to completely shift to CTV will depend ultimately on who your target demographic is and what are the objectives of your campaign, in my view. So if your target demographic is fundamentally made up of older individuals who still rely heavily on linear TV, then maybe a blend of both linear and CTV would be the better approach. Whereas on the other hand, if your objective is to reach those tech-savvy millennials and Gen Z consumers, then a complete shift to CTV may be a smarter choice, right? But it needs to be adapted to your brand and your target audience as a brand and the goals of your campaign, because ultimately it's all about optimizing the media mix in a way that fits you as a brand. Now, the strength of CTV again lies in its flexibility and the potential for this personalization, this content that can be more adapted to the particular household where the ad is being shown, and that makes it a really powerful tool for brands who look to maximize their effectiveness in India today.
Absolutely. So it depends on your audience. So India is a market where, cable TV pricing is increasing, internet pricing is coming down, smart TV costs are coming down. We're seeing a great potential for connected television there, right? So good. I think that's a really good answer, Noelia. It depends on your audience. What is your audience watching? That's what you need to advertise on. As simple as that. So Nikhil, coming to you, how do advertisers and marketers use data to target specific audiences? So you said there's a lot of personalization that's available on connected television. Can you share an example or a case study of how it worked for one of your clients or someone else?
No, I think, like Noelia mentioned, it's all about the usage of data that can be much better utilized when you do connected TV advertising. And over the past 3 years, we've had the opportunity to work closely with advertisers across verticals in India. And one trend that stood out is the growing appetite for connected TV advertising. It's almost fascinating to see how advertisers are increasingly drawn to the benefits of personalization, targeting, measurement, and integration across user journeys. These factors have become major attractions for advertisers looking to make the most out of their advertising efforts. I think we are moving towards an era where the marketer has to face the choice of dealing across multiple walled gardens, where while the exposure to the user is almost constant because the user is the same, but he might be watching your brand's ad across multiple different consumer touch points, whether it's on his large screen on television, whether it's his mobile, or while he is taking the lift in his corporate park. But the advertiser is the same, and probably sometimes instead of creating an ad recall and a brand favorability, excess exposure to ads can create ad fatigue. So it can actually lead to a negative impact from a consumer lens. One of the key aspects that advertisers and marketers are leveraging now is the power of data. They're tapping into various data sources, including first-party data of their own customer databases, second-party data from partnerships, third-party data from external providers. And by combining these all different data sets, they gain valuable insights into user demographics, interests, behaviors, viewing habits, consumption patterns, and so forth. This data-driven approach enables advertisers to create custom audience segments that allow them to reach users who are more likely to engage with their ads. For instance, they can target users who have previously shown interest in their brand or those who share similar characteristics with existing customers. Moreover, advertisers and marketers are also focusing on connecting the user journey across multiple devices, such as mobile, connected TV. By doing so, they create seamless and consistent experiences for users, leading to improved ad engagement, better brand recall. The advanced targeting capabilities of connected TV combine the integration of data, enable advertisers to optimize campaign and achieve superior results compared to traditional TV and advertising. And to answer your question, while I can't give you a specific example for a brand without the right approval, today in India, we work across all verticals. We can boast of almost 28 awards, won in the last 2 years across Asia for most of these verticals we work with. And I think the solution that we are improvising on is moving on from just the mobile and the TV, the two screens which we are most personalized access to also adding on to our arsenal, the digital out-of-home screens, which fundamentally in our mind, we believe are the large, formats of OOH, which we see while we are crossing the road. But I think we have moved to an era where most of our apartments also have these smaller TVs, which are inside your lift. When you're in your corporate park, you're looking at these screens. These are also advertising opportunities. And probably for you as a user, for me, an access point. So I think combining all these multi-screen journeys is where data comes in. For us at Affle as a group, or for us within mediasmart, it's super important that we keep data as the center of what we make and what we develop. We are a Europe company, so we are GDPR compliant. We are listed in India, which makes us always regulated by the right governing bodies. Keeping those things at bay, we ensure our products are built keeping data centricity, user privacy, and ROI and measurement in focus. So that's from us. Noelia, anything you want to add? If I missed something.
Thank you. No, I think you gave a great closing paragraph there.
Nikhil, there will come a day when I start seeing that ad on the screen in my lift, and then continue it on my phone while I reach my door, and then continue it on my TV. Is that what we're saying? That's
me. Just in case if you remember, how are you seeing those 3 ads? And when somebody asks, what do you guys do? That's us. I think super important that, and like I told you by an example, I think a lot of the people today are dealing with, in their media mix, trying to adopt most options. So connected TV is hot. I want to put that in my media plan. Digital out of home is hot. I want to put that in my media plan. Influencer marketing is hot. I want to put that in my media plan. So I think when you deal in isolated manners and you become more publisher agnostic as you go and in your journey towards becoming programmatic, you realize the user is the same. And instead of building a favorability towards a brand for showing him an ad 3 times, like a lot of time we talk about frequency cap, but frequency cap across what? Frequency cap across one publisher or frequency cap across all his journey. So if Shiny is seeing the same ad 3 times in her lift, probably 4 times on her mobile, 4 times on her mobile on one OTT, probably another 4 times on another OTT, and probably another 4 times on another ad. And then when she switches on the TV, she sees the same ad. What is the most obvious reaction you're going to have? Man, I'm not sure if I like this brand because, right? And I think that's becoming more and more important. I think sometimes we confuse the lines between technology and basic user intuitiveness. I always say this in every conversation I've had. Consumer intuitiveness and consumer reaction stands out over and above any statistic which has been proved by any organization. And I think as a consumer, if you get fatigued, believe me, all other consumers get fatigued as well. So I think that's the kind of journey we are moving towards. And if you do see us on multiple screens, I'll pat my team's back and we will give credit to you.
And if you see us making sense all over and not fatiguing customers, but on the contrary, building more of a conversation and having more relevant messages given to users. That's our goal. Absolutely. I think tech that keeps the consumer experience front and center is the need of the hour. Thank you so much, Noelia. Thank you so much, Nikhil. This was a wonderful conversation. Very good points got in. I think it's going to be very useful both for me and for our audience here. So thank you once again. Thank you. Pleasure.